Hi, everyone. Welcome again to another podcast. And today we're going to be talking about the letter R. Just before we do that, a nice greeting. If someone's waiting to talk with you and then finally you're ready for them, you can say, right, let's be having you. So if you're at work and you're waiting to ask your boss a question or a friend a question, and maybe they're busy with something else. When they're ready, they might say, right, let's be having you. It's just a nice way to say, okay, I'm ready, especially if they're offering you assistance with something. Right, let's be having you. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the letter R. Okay, very important, this little letter. And it's one that's very misunderstood in English as well. The reason for that is because in some parts of the UK, we say ar. In other parts of the UK, it's silent. Now, in the London area and in received pronunciation, the letter R should never be said. It's considered vulgar, a rather rude word, well, rude letter. It's something which we don't generally highlight. However, in these days where we celebrate individuality, you are going to hear it, especially in regional dialects and accents like Scotland, Northern Ireland, the north of England. They have a strong R. I've written a sentence for you here. The water in Mallorca, these are nice words. In this sentence, the letter R is taken away. You don't hear it at all in received pronunciation or in my accent, which is generally southern London. The water, the R is changed to an A. Mallorca. These are nice words. So all of the R's are replaced with A's. Colloquially, in the south of England, the vowels are a little bit different, but the R's are still silent. The water in Mallorca. So you can hear there, the R still isn't there, even though the vowels have changed a little bit. But again, in received pronunciation, it's the water in Mallorca. Okay, if we think about the Scottish accent, that becomes the water in Mallorca. These are nice words. And if you think about the Scottish dialects, that would become the water in Majorca. These are nice words. So it's much stronger. So generally, in received pronunciation, the R's dropped off. R, water, Mallorca. And I can't stress that enough because that's the kind of English you hear all across the English-speaking world. That's the kind of English you see in documentaries with, I think, is it David Attenborough, Richard Attenborough, the one who does the wildlife programs. Yeah, lovely, yes. So the letter R needs to be silenced off. Now, if the letter R is at the beginning of a word or before the middle, it generally gets to stay. So we've already said words, the R disappears. But what about a word like producer? The R is there, producer, and it's rolled at the back top of your mouth. Producer. Look at your tongue, put it up to the top, and you'll get an L sound. Put it further back, and you'll get an R. Yeah, producer. But at the end, it still becomes an A sound at the end. Okay, so words like receive, I always try to remember this little thing that we do in English. I before E, except after C. So I've definitely spelled it right. So here, receive, receive. Now, some people in the English world go to great lengths to get rid of the R. You might hear some English people colloquially saying, yeah, I received a letter, where, and they change the R to a W to avoid it being said, because we always considered it very, very vulgar in the past. Let's try another one. Retreat. I'll give it a capital R like the others. Yeah, so retreat. But here, the R can't be avoided because it's after a really hard letter. Retreat. So the R is going to be there. Difficult that, isn't it? You will hear some English people saying retweet. Yeah, or we tweet. We tweet. I'm going on a we tweet this week. Again, they try to avoid the R sometimes, especially older people. But in these days where we're all supposed to be speaking well, retreat is how we'd handle this. Okay, so remember the letter R at the end of words is usually dropped. Close to the end of words, like the word or work, it's also dropped. Here, producer, the R's at the beginning, so you can't really drop it. It's also after a hard P sound. Likewise, after the T, difficult to drop it. But at the end, with a word like pleasure, the R disappears again and is replaced with an A. Really important that you get your head around this, because you're going to hear that the letter R is removed, especially with people who talk very politely, like me. The same with hair. Okay, you might hear a stronger vowel in the south as well. Woa, Mayoga, or Majoka, some people say. And in Scotland, water in Mallorca or Majorca. Words. So around the UK, all different. Stick to what you know, stick to what the standard is, which across the media, especially if you're outside, is always going to be Southern or, did you hear me doing or there? Or received pronunciation. Okay, so words, producer, receive, retreat, pleasure, hear, hair, or. And again, some English people will try to avoid using the letter R, especially in the London area. Yeah, I received a letter from you yesterday. Yeah, I'm going on a retreat next week. So yeah, that also happens a lot. All right. So something for you to listen out for there, colloquially, formally, and informally. And that's it. Hope you found this helpful. See ya. Bye.